some big news in the college football world, where the CFP Board of Managers has reportedly, Gary, voted to expand the college football playoff to, 12 teams. Wow. What's your reaction initially to this news that feels a little bit like a fait accompli?
Woo-hoo. I'm happy that this is happening because there was some real thought in recent months that they were going to continue to fight over this and push it as far down the road as they could. You might remember that before the SEC took Texas and Oklahoma from the Big 12, this agreement was pretty much in place. And then it fell apart because everybody got their feelings hurt and nobody trusted anybody anymore. But now, reasonable minds have returned. And the truth is, with a playoff, I don't want to say the biggest you could go is better, but certainly we need more than 4. We need more parts of the country involved. We need, conference champions without exceptions in the major conferences involved. And the integrity of the regular season will still be very much in place. I
think it'll be better, to be honest with you.
Well, here's the thing. You get to a certain point where you've taken 2 losses with a 14 playoff and your season is over as it pertains to trying to win a national championship. Now, you can still theoretically be in play. The people who will yell this messes up the regular season are the same people who yelled that a 14 playoff would mess up the regular season. They were wrong about that. They'll be wrong about this. You're still going to be having teams play for byes, play for home games. This is going to be terrific. It'll be the best version of postseason college football we've ever had.
Yeah, you mentioned that. My only point would be, please keep those early round games at home so we can get some of those atmospheres. We're almost ready to watch Serena Williams at the U.S. Open, where once again she'll take center stage in about an hour as she'll try to keep this magical last dance type run going, and it's been fun to watch.
It really has. It's been the story in sports this week. Obviously, her first round match, she was supposed to win, and they had the ceremony after that. So an incredible scene at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Her second round match, she was a heavy underdog to the 2 seed and still was able to win that in 3 sets. Tonight, she is favored again, so supposed to advance. And the scene at Arthur Ashe will just be amazing. I was there last night for Venus and Serena playing doubles, and it was jam-packed. People could not get enough of it. We are celebrating this woman, this icon, and what everybody believes is going to be her last run through the U.S. Open. And so you want to keep her in this bracket as far as you can. And that's why you'll have about 29,000 people, not too far from us, rooting hard for her tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned you got a chance to see Serena in person last night. That was likely the last time professionally playing with her sister Venus in doubles. So give us a recap of what the atmosphere was like and what it was like to see those 2 legends playing the same court.
It was awesome, Evan. I don't often go to sporting events by myself, and I don't often go out when I'm here in New York because I've always got a lot of work to do. But I went out of my way to make time for this because I could appreciate the history of the moment. I obviously wanted to see Serena and Venus win last night, but because they lost, I got to sit there amongst, about 29,000 other people and watch these 2 tennis icons, but even more than that, American icons walk off the court together for what most people believe is the final time as professionals. You cannot overstate what they have meant to this sport. And you're seeing it with Serena specifically throughout this week over in Queens. These are the 2 women who have made more money playing professional tennis than anybody else in the history of the world. And the idea that they're sisters from Compton, California, who grew up to dominate a sport that is mostly filled with people of privilege and people who don't look like them. It is an all-time great American story, not unlike Tiger Woods dominating golf. And just to be in that building last night to experience that moment, it was money well spent.
You somehow, we don't want to get into the details of it, got a front row seat to watch Rafael Nadal win his second round match. He had that moment with the nose, messing up that handsome face of his, but he held on and advanced.
Yeah, that was a late night. I don't think I got back to my hotel till somewhere around 1:30 or 2. But again, it was a really, blast of a night because I did, it was a school night for some of the parents and kids there. And some of the seats opened up down really, really close to the court. And I maneuvered down there and had a very, very nice seat to watch a guy, if we're going to call Serena the GOAT of women's tennis, you could reasonably call Rafael Nadal the GOAT of men's tennis. He has more Grand Slam titles than anybody, and he is now 21-0 this year in Grand Slam matches. He obviously had to withdraw at Wimbledon because of an injury, but that doesn't count as a loss. He has not lost in a Grand Slam this year. He won the Australian Open, the French Open, and now he's on track to maybe add another U.S. Open. And the idea that he was able to get out of that match last night successfully, a little surprising given the way he started, because he was not good. My friend Dan Walken, who covers tennis for USA Today, texted me because he knew I was there. He watches everything, and he said this is as bad early on as I've ever seen Nadal play. He got it together in the back half of the second set and then cruised with a Band-Aid on his nose, but he got off to a rough start, handled it, and now you keep the biggest name in this field still in this field.
Yeah, he's one of the toughest tennis players that I can remember over the last number of decades. In the NBA, gigantic, somewhat surprising deal went down yesterday, Gary. The Cavaliers acquiring all-star Donovan Mitchell from the Jazz. What was your reaction to this trade?
I love it. I mean, Cleveland obviously gave up a lot, but, you know, Ochai Agbaji is a rookie who was a 4-year college player. I like him a lot, but we don't know what he's going to be. They didn't want to pay Colin Sexton anyway, so now that's just something they're not going to have to do. And they get, you know, an all-star who's still very much in his prime. And if you go back and look at the all-star rosters from last season, Western Conference, Eastern Conference, the Cavaliers now have 3 guys who were 2022 All-Stars. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, and Jarrett Allen, and Evan Mobley.
I think Evan Mobley is the best player on that list.
I think he will ultimately be.
Yeah.
He was runner-up for Rookie of the Year, could have reasonably been Rookie of the Year. So you never know what's going to happen when LeBron James leaves you. And Cleveland obviously went the wrong way, but that front office has rebuilt that in a really, really impressive form. And they've got, I think right now, if not the best young core in the NBA, certainly one of the best.
This is more like it. A few weeks ago, you and I in these seats, it was a disaster while you were in town. But now 2 or 3 from the Dodgers, you have to be feeling good once again.
I am feeling good. You know, the Mets are playing really well, and Lindor is living up to that contract. He's hitting yesterday, made an incredible play at shortstop that ended an inning. He's been operating at a really high level, and you know, a lot of people think this Mets-Dodgers is a preview of the NLCS. You know, the Braves and the Cardinals or Padres and Phillies are possibly going to have something to say about that. But if it does get to Mets-Dodgers, I feel good about it as a Mets fan. The Dodgers probably have the better team, certainly the better record. But Walker Buehler is now out for the season. Jacob deGrom is healthy and overwhelming. Max Scherzer healthy and overwhelming. Chris Bassett has been really good as a number 3 guy. And Edwin Diaz is undeniably the best closer in baseball. I think I've reached the point where against literally anybody in the National League, including the Dodgers, I think you put them in a 7-game series, and I'm taking the New York Mets because nobody can match them 1, 2, 3 in terms of starting pitchers.
And the best news is, this is our last show in New York for a while. Adam's back. So you're not going to be here to bring that bad mojo and start any losing streak over the next few weeks. All right, staying in the National League East, how about the performance last night, Gary, from Spencer Strider? 16 strikeouts last night against the Rockies. Strider's having one heck of a rookie season.
He's tremendous, and he was unbelievable last night. I kept an eye on this while I was at the U.S. Open. You know, 16 strikeouts and 0 walks. He became just the 4th rookie in Major League Baseball history to have 16 strikeouts and 0 walks in a game. 2 of the other 3 are Doc Gooden and Kerry Wood, so that's good company. Strider's 9-4 in the season, 2.67 ERA. He's been really good basically from the jump. And it just sort of speaks to how fortunate the Braves are to be in this situation. This doesn't happen in any other sport. Now, part of it's because of the way prospects develop in the minor leagues in baseball. They don't do that in the NFL. They don't do that in basketball. But imagine you're the reigning World Series champions and you just added an ace who's a rookie. Think about if the Rams win the Super Bowl and then their best player was a rookie the next year. Or the Warriors win an NBA Finals and the next year their best player is a rookie. I'm not necessarily saying Strider is the Braves' best player, but he is their best pitcher right now for sure. And he's somebody that if they do get into a 5-game series, 7-game series with the Dodgers or the Mets, he can at least match any of them, in that game one.
I love the picture of you at the U.S. Open juggling your phone, Strider. You got Serena and Venus down there. Nadal's over. Yeah, and then you got to make sure you're properly lubricated and full.
Time to shine. Needless to say, Evan, this 49ers quarterback situation is going to be fascinating to watch all season.
Absolutely. I can't wait for the Jimmy G book post-playing career because he has seen a lot. Look, I think it's great for Jimmy Garoppolo to get healthy and be the backup to Trey Lance. He's got the perfect demeanor for it, and it's great for the 49ers. If Lance were to get injured or if there is a serious regression, they know they can go to Garoppolo, and I think Garoppolo is going to make a lot of money playing somewhere next year when he's healthy and teams feel confident that he can come in the offseason and take over an organization.
Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson, he signed a 5-year extension yesterday and said he's excited about what the future holds in Denver. Russell Wilson, he's all in as a member of the Broncos, right, Evan?
Russell Wilson is always all in on whatever he's talking about. But yes, I think that this puts Russell Wilson in control in terms of that position for really the next 7 years when you look at the entirety of the contract. And that's an attractive thing for free agents moving forward and the ability to build around Wilson. As I look at it this year, I see high ceiling. This team could win the AFC West. They could win 12-plus games. But I also see a situation where they win 8-9 games, so a relatively high floor. I just, at the moment, think they're a year away because there's so much that goes into shifting an organization with a new head coach, new ownership, and now new quarterback. But Russell Wilson is the right guy. Out in Denver during training camp, and he's brought that energy that was there a few years ago when a guy named Peyton Manning took over, and there's just a belief in the building with the fan base we can win a Super Bowl, if not this year, in the coming years. So Broncos country, let's ride.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Cowboys signal caller Dak Prescott, he's taken exception to the chatter this offseason that Dallas is going to take a step back, and he spoke about it with the press yesterday after practice. Dak Prescott, he's extra motivated heading in this season.
Yeah, he should be, because all those things that are being said are legitimate in a lot of ways. He doesn't have a lot of weapons outside of CeeDee Lamb. His offensive line is vulnerable, but he's now finally healthy. He's had an entire training camp to get ready, and I think the NFC East is absolutely winnable for the Cowboys. I buy into the idea that the Eagles are better prepared to win that division right now, but maybe it takes the Cowboys being doubted finally and not crowned prior to a season to finally live up to some expectations that we've had for Prescott and this team the last few years. But as you go through it, I mean, again, CeeDee Lamb right now, James Washington's hurt, Michael Gallup, I think, is banged up and expected to miss week 1, as you can see there. It's a situation where Dak can be healthy, be motivated, playing with a chip on his shoulder, but if he doesn't have the pieces around him, then they're not going to be successful. So I think that this is probably better for Cowboys fans to be the doubted and fly under the radar to maybe prove plenty of us wrong.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.